I remember the first time I realized I didn't belong. Daniel got another award, my mom said, smiling. Of course he did, my dad replied. I stood there, waiting. Can you set the table? She added, glancing at me briefly. Yeah, I said quietly. That was it. That was always it. My teacher said I did well on my test. I tried one evening. That's good, my dad muttered without looking up. Daniel laughed. What did you get? He asked. 92, I said. I got 100, he replied. My mom clapped. That's my boy. I stayed silent after that. Don't make trouble, my mom would say whenever I tried to speak up. I'm not, I'd answer. Then just listen, she'd snap. Daniel would smirk across the table. Lily would giggle, swinging her legs like nothing mattered. I'd stare at my plate, pretending it didn't hurt, but it always did. Can you handle this? My dad asked one afternoon, handing me a stack of bills. Yeah, I said. Good, he replied. No thank you. No smile. Just expectation. Daniel walked in, and suddenly my dad's tone changed. Hey, champ, he said. I felt invisible standing right there. Mom, can you help me with something? I asked once. Ask your brother, she said quickly. But he's busy, I replied. Then figure it out, she snapped. Lily ran in. Mommy, look at my drawing, she shouted. Oh, sweetheart, that's beautiful, my mom said, hugging her tightly. I cleaned the whole kitchen, I said one evening. That's what you're supposed to do, my dad replied. Daniel doesn't have to, I muttered. Don't compare yourself, he said sharply. Just do your part. I nodded, biting my tongue. Speaking never helped. It only made things worse for me. Why are you so quiet? Lily asked me once. I don't know, I said. You should talk more, she said. Maybe, I replied. But every time I talked, no one listened. So I stopped trying. Silence felt safer than being ignored. At least silence didn't hurt as much. Can you pick up Lily from school? My mom asked. I have homework, I said. So? She replied. Daniel has practice, she added. Okay, I said. Of course. Daniel always had something important. I just had responsibilities. That was the difference between us, and everyone knew it. I got into the honor roll, I said one day, trying again. That's nice, my mom said distractedly. Daniel made captain of the team, my dad announced proudly. That's amazing, my mom said. I forced a smile. Yeah, it is, I whispered, even though something inside me cracked quietly. Why can't you be more like your brother? My dad asked once. I try, I said softly. Try harder, he replied. I am, I insisted. Then it's not enough, he said coldly. I nodded, even though my chest felt tight. No matter what I did, it was never enough for them. I helped fix the garage, I said, hoping for something. About time, my dad replied. Daniel would have done it faster, he added. I did my best, I said. Your best isn't always good enough, he said. I swallowed hard, forcing myself not to react. I was used to it by then. Do you even care about me? I asked my mom once, my voice shaking. She looked surprised. What kind of question is that? She said. Just answer me, I insisted. Of course I care, she replied. Then why does it never feel like it? I asked quietly. You're overthinking, she said quickly. Am I? I replied. Yes, she snapped. Stop being dramatic. I nodded slowly. Okay, I said, even though I knew what I felt was real. But arguing never changed anything. It just made them more distant, and I couldn't afford that. I'm proud of you, I once imagined my dad saying. You did well, my mom would add. But those words never came. Instead, it was always, do better, or don't mess up. I chased something that didn't exist. And the worst part? I knew it, but I kept trying anyway. Why do you even try? Daniel asked me one night. Because maybe one day it'll matter, I said. He laughed. It won't, he replied. You're just There. His words hit harder than anything, because deep down, I feared he was right about how they all saw me. I thought if I worked harder, if I stayed quiet, if I did everything right, one day they would finally see me. I got my first job the week I turned 18. You're working now? My dad asked, raising an eyebrow. Yeah, I said. Good, he replied. About time you did something useful. That word stayed with me. Useful. Not proud, not happy, just useful. How much are they paying you? My mom asked later that night. It's not much, I said. Still, it's something, she replied quickly. You're doing well now, right? I nodded. I guess. She smiled in a way I hadn't seen before. It felt new. It felt nice. Congrats, Daniel said, patting my shoulder. Thanks, I replied, surprised. Stick with it, he added. Money matters. I nodded again. For the first time, he wasn't mocking me. For the first time, I felt included in something, even if it was small. Can you help with groceries this week? My mom asked. Yeah, I said without thinking. We're family, she added. We support each other. I smiled slightly. Of course. That night, I handed her most of my paycheck. This helps a lot, she said. I felt proud. You're stepping up, my dad said a few days later. I'm trying, I replied. Keep it up, he said. It wasn't much, but it was more than I'd ever gotten before. I held on to those words like they meant everything, because to me, they did. Can you cover the electricity bill? My mom asked one evening. It's a bit tight this month. Yeah, I said again. No problem. You're such a good son, she said. My chest tightened. I wasn't invisible anymore. I mattered, at least a little. Hey, I need a favor, Daniel said, walking into my room. What is it? I asked. I've got this business idea, he said. I just need a bit of money to get started. How much? I asked carefully. Just a small loan, he replied. I'll pay you back. Are you sure? I asked. Come on, he said. You don't trust me? I do, I said quickly. Then help me out, he added. I hesitated for a second, then nodded. Okay, he smiled. I knew I could count on you. That sentence echoed in my mind long after he left. You're really helping this family, my dad said one night. Someone has to, I replied quietly. That's the spirit, he said. We rely on each other. I nodded, even though I noticed something. They only said things like this when I gave them money. Can you buy Lily a new dress? My mom asked. She really wants one. Sure, I said. Thank you, she replied quickly. Lily hugged me later. You're the best, she said. I smiled. Anything for you. That moment felt real. It felt like love. You've changed, Daniel said one evening. How? I asked. You're actually useful now, he replied with a grin. I laughed softly. I guess. Keep it up, he added. I nodded, ignoring the strange feeling in my chest. Something about that didn't sit right. Do you need anything? I asked my mom one day. Actually, yes, she said immediately. There's always something, I joked lightly. That's life, she replied. Expenses never stop. I handed her money again. You're a blessing, she said. I held on to that word. Can you help me again next month? Daniel asked. I'm still setting things up. You haven't started yet? I asked. It takes time, he replied. You understand, right? I nodded slowly. Yeah. Good, he said. I knew you'd get it. Do you ever save anything? I asked myself quietly one night. Then I shook my head. It didn't matter. This is what family does, I whispered. This is what love looks like. Saying it out loud made it feel more real, even if part of me wasn't convinced. Why do you look so tired? Lily asked me. Work, I said, and other things. You should rest, she said. I'm okay, I replied. But I wasn't. I was always running, always giving, always trying to keep that small connection alive. Can you take care of this? My dad asked again, handing me another bill. Yeah, I said automatically. Good, he replied. I don't know what we'd do without you. That should have made me happy. Instead, it made me pause for just a second. Without me, or without my money? I almost asked. But I didn't. I just nodded and took the bill, because questioning it felt dangerous, like I might lose everything I had just started to gain. You're different now, my mom said softly one evening. Am I? I asked. Yes, she replied. You're more responsible. I smiled faintly. I learned from you, I said. She laughed. See, you're finally growing up. Finally. That word hit me harder than I expected. Like everything before this didn't count. Like I only mattered now because I could give them something they needed. Still, I ignored that feeling. I pushed it down every time it came up. Because for the first time in my life, they were talking to me, smiling at me, noticing me. And I wasn't ready to lose that. Hey, can we talk? I asked Daniel one evening. Make it quick, he replied. I'm busy. About the business, I said. He sighed. What about it? You said it was growing, I added. It is, he said quickly. Why? Because I checked, I replied quietly. Checked what? He asked, his tone sharp. There's no business, I said. No registration, no activity, nothing. He stared at me. You went behind my back? He snapped. I trusted you, I replied. I gave you everything I had. He laughed coldly. That's your problem. My problem? I repeated. You lied to me. Watch your tone, he said. Or what? I asked, my voice shaking. Or you'll regret it, he replied. I felt something break inside me. Where did the money go? I demanded. None of your business, he said. It is my business, I shouted. I worked for that money. And I used it, he replied casually. That's how life works. For what? I asked. Trips? Clothes? Parties? He smirked. So what if I did? My hands clenched. You said it was for something real. It was real, he said. I wanted to enjoy my life. With my money? I asked. We're family, he replied. You should be happy to help. I stared at him, unable to process what he was saying. Help? I whispered. This isn't help. This is stealing. Lower your voice, my mom said as she walked in. What's going on? He's accusing me, Daniel said quickly. Of what? She asked. Of lying, he replied. Because I asked where my money went, I said. Your money? She repeated. Since when do you talk like that? Because it is mine, I said. I earned it. And we raised you, she snapped. Don't forget that. I'm not forgetting, I replied. But that doesn't mean he can lie to me. He didn't lie, she said firmly. He just handled things differently. Differently? I repeated. He spent it on himself. So what? She said. He's your brother. That doesn't make it okay, I replied. It does in this house, she said coldly. I felt my chest tighten. So I'm just supposed to accept this? Stop being dramatic, she said. After everything we've done for you. What have you done for me? I asked before I could stop myself. The room went silent. Excuse me? She said slowly. I'm just asking, I replied, my voice breaking. How dare you accuse your brother? My dad's voice came from behind me. I turned. I'm not accusing him, I said. I'm telling the truth. Your truth, he replied, which sounds a lot like disrespect. Disrespect? I repeated. He took my money. And you gave it willingly, he said. Because he lied. I shot back. Enough, he snapped. You're crossing a line. What line? I asked. The one where I'm not allowed to question anything? The one where you remember your place, he replied. My place? I whispered. Yes, he said. You don't talk to your family like this. Then how should I talk? I asked. Like someone who's grateful, he replied. I laughed bitterly. Grateful for what? I said. For being used? That's enough, my mom shouted. You've changed, she added. You used to be better than this. No, I said quietly. I used to stay quiet. Maybe you should go back to that, Daniel muttered. I looked at him. You really think this is okay? I think you're overreacting, he replied. It was just money. Just money? I repeated. It was everything I had. Then you should have been smarter, he said. That was it. That was the moment something inside me shattered completely. Do you even hear yourself? I asked. I hear someone being ungrateful, my dad replied. Ungrateful? I said. For what? For being treated like a bank? Watch your words, he warned. Or what? I asked again, my voice empty now. Or you can leave, he said coldly. The words hit harder than anything else. Leave? I repeated. Yes, he said. If you can't respect this family, you don't belong here. Respect? I whispered. You want respect after this? We want support, my mom said. That's what family does. I supported you, I replied. I gave you everything. Then give more, my dad said. We still have debts. I stared at him. You're serious? I asked. Completely, he replied. And if I don't? I said. He looked me straight in the eyes. Then don't come back asking for anything, he said, because you won't be part of this family anymore. The room went quiet. I looked at all of them, my father, my mother, my brother, waiting, expecting. Not one of them looked guilty. Not one of them looked sorry. That's when it finally hit me. They never loved me, I whispered. I was just their wallet. No one said anything. And somehow, that silence hurt more than everything else combined. I stand outside my family house knowing today is the day everything ends. I don't knock at first. Instead, I wait, listening to the silence that used to feel like home. Ethan texts me. You sure about this? I reply, I have to be. I open the door and step inside. My mother sees me first. She says, You came back. I answer, You called me. Daniel stands near the couch, arms crossed. He says, We didn't expect you. I look at him and say, That's the problem. My father doesn't speak. I take a breath and say, Did you ever love me? Even once? The room goes silent. My mother says, Don't talk like that. I ask again, Answer me. Daniel scoffs, You're being dramatic. I laugh once, but it hurts. I say, So that's it? No love? No truth? My father finally speaks. We did what we could. I nod slowly. That answers everything. I turn toward the door. My mother calls, Don't leave like this. I stop, but don't turn back. I say, I'm already gone. I walk out. The door closes behind me. Outside, the air feels different, like I can breathe again. Ethan is waiting near the street. He looks at me and says, You okay? I shake my head. No, but I will be. He doesn't ask anything else. He just says, Let's go. I follow him. For the first time, I don't look back, but I still feel everything. Grief, anger, emptiness. Ethan says quietly, It gets lighter. I ask, Does it? He replies, Eventually. I nod. We walk together, and I realize something. I'm still hurting, but I'm free. I say, I didn't think it would feel like this. Ethan asks, Like what? I answer, Empty, but lighter. He nods. That's the start. I look ahead at the road. No house behind me. No voices calling me back. Just silence. Ethan says, You did the hardest part. I ask, Leaving them? He says, Choosing yourself. I repeat quietly, Choosing myself. and something inside me finally agrees. We stop near a small streetlight. Ethan says, "You'll rebuild from here." I ask, "Do you think I can?" He replies, "I know you can." I breathe in deeply. For the first time, it doesn't hurt as much. I say, "I spent so long trying to be enough for them." I spent so long trying to be enough for them. Ethan replies, "You already were." I shake my head. "Not for them." He says, "That's their loss." I whisper, "Yeah, maybe." We start walking again. My steps feel lighter, not because life is easy, but because I stopped carrying them. Ethan says, "You're not alone now." I nod. I know, and I mean it. I look up at the sky and think about everything I lost. Ethan walks beside me without rushing me. I say, "They never saw me." He says, "That's why you left." I reply, "No, I left because I finally saw myself." Ethan smiles slightly. "That's powerful." I shrug. "It just took too long." He says, "You made it." I answer, "Not yet, but I'm getting there." We reach a bus stop and sit down. I breathe out slowly. No chaos. No demands. Just me. Ethan says, "This is your life now." I nod. "Yeah." It doesn't feel like survival anymore. It feels like living. I whisper, "I didn't think I'd get here." Ethan replies, "But you did." I sit quietly watching people pass by. Ethan breaks the silence. "Do you regret it?" I think for a long moment. Then I say, "I regret staying for so long, not leaving." Ethan nods slowly. I continue. "I thought love meant being needed." He says, "Now?" I answer, "Now I think love means not losing yourself." Ethan says, "You got that right." I smile faintly. For the first time, it feels real. I stand up from the bench. Ethan stands with me. We start walking again. I say, "I think I'm okay now." He replies, "You've been okay for a while." I look forward. No more looking back. I say quietly, "I'm done being what they needed." Ethan says, "Good." I add, "I'm starting to understand who I am." He says, "That's the best part." I nod again. The streetlights glow above us. I feel calm. Not perfect, but real. Ethan says, "Ready to go home?" I answer, "Yeah, my home now." I walk beside him thinking about everything that changed. Ethan says, "You're different from when I first met you." I reply, "I had to become someone I could live with." He nods. "That's growth." I look at the road ahead one last time. No fear left. I whisper, "This is mine now." Now free, I begin rebuilding my life. It's not easy. I deal with loneliness, self-doubt, and anger. Ethan becomes more present, offering grounded advice. "You don't owe people who only use you." I stare at his words like they are heavier than silence. Another character enters my life, Clara, who runs a small business. She says, "You look like someone who lost something important." I say, "Maybe I did." She nods and replies, "Then let's build something new for you." I don't know why, but I believe her. Ethan keeps checking on me at work. "You eating properly?" he asks. I shrug. "Not really." "Then eat something," he says. It feels strange, being cared for without conditions. I start working with Clara's business, slowly learning responsibility without pressure. Clara says, "You don't have to prove anything here." I whisper, "That's new for me." She replies, "Then you'll like it here." For the first time, I don't feel like I'm earning my place. Ethan sits beside me during lunch. "You're quieter these days," he says. I reply, "I'm thinking less about them." "That's good," he says. But it still hurts sometimes, like a ghost that won't leave. Clara hands me a small task sheet. "Start with this," she says. "Take your time." I nod. Okay. I feel something shifting inside me, slowly but real. One evening, I look at myself in the mirror and ask a question out loud. What do I want? The question scares me because I don't have an answer yet. Ethan notices my silence later that day. You okay? He asks. I hesitate, not really sure anymore. He nods slowly. That's honest, at least. I almost laugh, but it comes out as nothing. Clara calls me into her office. I've been watching you, she says. You don't quit, do you? I answer quietly. I don't know how. She smiles. Good. That means you're still fighting. For the first time, someone sees struggle as strength. Ethan and I leave work together. You've changed a bit, he says. I shrug. I'm trying. That's enough, he replies. Those words stay with me longer than I expect. I stop checking my phone for messages from my family. Still waiting for them? Ethan asks. I answer, I think I stopped waiting today. He looks at me. That's progress. It doesn't feel like progress. It feels like surviving. Clara gives me more responsibility each day. You're ready for this, she says. I ask, what if I fail? She replies, then you learn. No punishment, no anger, just learning. Ethan sits beside me again. You're different now, he says. I say, I don't feel like I'm disappearing anymore. He nods. Good. I walk home alone that night. No calls, no demands, just silence. I realize silence doesn't hurt anymore. It just exists. Ethan texts me, eat something. I reply, I will. And I actually do. At home, I sit alone, thinking about everything I lost and everything I never had. I whisper to myself, what do I want? Again. I don't get an answer, but for the first time, I don't panic about it. Ethan and Clara's support becomes my routine. You're not alone here, Clara says. I answer, I'm starting to believe that. Belief feels strange, like a muscle I haven't used. I keep working, day after day. Good work, Ethan says. I nod. Thanks. That's all you say now? He jokes. I smile slightly. Mostly. I stop thinking about my family every hour. Now it's only sometimes, like old pain fading slowly. I begin to see a version of myself that isn't defined by them. Who are you becoming? Clara asks. I answer, someone I recognize. I sit alone one evening and feel something I haven't felt in years. Peace. You look lighter, Ethan says. I reply, I think I finally let go. And for the first time, I mean it. I walk outside and breathe without feeling like I owe anyone anything. Clara says, keep going. I whisper, I will. Not for them, not anymore. For me. I finally ask again, louder this time. What do I want? I sit with that question longer than I ever have before. Ethan sits beside me quietly. No answer yet? He asks. I say, not yet. He nods. That's okay. And I believe him. I look ahead at my life, unsure, but not afraid anymore. Clara smiles from across the room. You're doing it, she says. I ask softly, doing what? She replies, finding yourself. And for the first time, I don't run from that idea. I sit there quietly, feeling my past loosen its grip on me. Ethan says, we got you. I reply, for the first time, I think I've got myself too. I stand up slowly, feeling different than I ever have before. Ethan walks beside me as we leave the building. Clara calls out, Come back tomorrow. I nod. I will. For once, tomorrow doesn't scare me. Ethan says quietly, "You're not who you used to be." I reply, "I think I finally know that." Silence follows, but it feels peaceful this time. I look at the night sky and breathe deeply. I whisper, "This is my life now." And for the first time, I believe it completely. I am no longer theirs. I am finally mine, free and starting over now. I start hearing things about my family from coworkers at work. "Did you hear about Daniel?" one of them says. I pause. "What about him?" I ask. "He is buried in debt now." I feel my chest tighten. "Debt?" I repeat. "Yeah, big trouble apparently," another coworker adds. "Family business collapsed." I stay quiet. "And your father?" someone says. I hesitate. "What about him?" "Hospital stress issues." I swallow hard. "Mom?" I whisper. No one answers. I feel something shift inside me, but I say nothing, just keep working. I tell myself I don't care anymore, but that is a lie. "You okay?" Ethan asks during lunch. I shrug. "Just tired," I reply. "You don't look tired, you look haunted," he says. I laugh weakly. "Maybe I deserve it," I say. Ethan frowns. "Don't talk like that." "They are falling apart," I say suddenly. He pauses. "That family of yours?" I nod. "Yeah, karma maybe," he says. I stare at my food. "Should I care?" I whisper. Ethan says, "That is your choice." I don't. Clara calls me into her office. "You seem distracted," she says. I sit down. "I heard things," I admit. "About your family," she says. I look away. "Yeah, everything is collapsing," I say. Clara leans forward. "And how does that make you feel?" I hesitate. "Angry, sad, confused," I admit. She nods. "Normal," she says. I laugh. "Nothing about them feels normal," I say. Clara replies, "You don't owe them your destruction." I blink. "But they are my family," she says. So, I stay silent. I walk home that night, phone buzzing again. "Mom," calling. I stare at it. "Answer me," message appears. I don't reply. Ethan texts, "Ignore pressure." I reply, "It's not pressure, it's guilt." He says, "Same thing." I stop walking. "Maybe I should go back," I whisper aloud. Clara would say, "Why?" Ethan would say, "Don't." I keep walking. What if they need me still? I think, but my steps don't stop. I don't know anymore, I say into empty air, feeling lost. Next morning, Ethan waits outside work. "You look like you didn't sleep," he says. I shrug. "I didn't," I admit. He sighs. "You are thinking too much." I reply, "They are collapsing." Ethan says, "That is not your burden." I stop walking. "But it feels like it is." He shakes head. "You left for a reason." I whisper, "Did I make a mistake?" He answers, "No," firmly. I breathe out slowly. I don't know what to do. Ethan says, "Just keep moving." I nod. Clara gives me more responsibility today. "Handle this client file," she says. I take it. "Are you sure?" I ask. She smiles. "Yes." I hesitate. "What if I fail?" She replies, "Then you learn." I nod. Ethan watches from corner. "You are improving," he says. I reply, "I don't feel improved." He laughs. "That comes later." I sit back. "My mom called again," I say. Clara pauses. "Did you answer?" I shake head. "No." She says, "Your choice." I whisper, "I feel trapped." Ethan says, "You are not." I. I finally answer one call late night. "Hello," I say. Silence, then, "Please," my mother voice cracks. "We need you." I freeze. "Need me for what?" I ask. She cries, "Everything is falling apart." I close my eyes. Ethan is beside me. "Don't go back there," he whispers. I say nothing. Clara says, think before you act. I breathe, shaking. Why now? I ask. Mother says, because we have no one else. I laugh bitterly. No one else. I repeat, phone shaking. I will call back. I hang up. Ethan looks at me. You okay? He asks. I shake head. No, I say. Clara enters. That was them, she says. I nod. They are desperate, I whisper. Ethan says, desperation is not love. I stare at wall. It feels like duty, I say. Clara replies, you are free now. I laugh softly. Free but guilty, Ethan says. Guilt fades. I look at phone. They keep calling, I say. Clara replies, let them call. I whisper, what if I regret this? Ethan says, you will regret staying. I pause. I step outside, building air cold. Ethan follows. Where are you going? He asks. I answer, I don't know. Clara watches from door. You don't have to decide tonight, she says. I nod slowly. They said I am nothing without them, I say. Ethan replies, then prove them wrong. I laugh bitter. Or prove them right, I whisper. Clara says, you are already more than that. I breathe deeply. I don't know who I am. Ethan says, you are finding out. I stand still, silent, thinking. I walk back inside, slowly, phone silent finally. Ethan says, peace feels new, right? I nod, yes. Clara smiles. That means you are healing. I whisper, or changing. She replies, both. I sit down. They're still my family, I say. Ethan answers, but you are your own now. I breathe slowly. I never thought I could say that. Clara says, say it again. I pause. I am my own. Ethan smiles. Good. I stand up, finally steady. What about them? I ask. Clara replies, that is no longer your. I come back home, and I can feel it before anyone even speaks. The air is different, heavier, quiet in a way that doesn't feel stable. I step inside, and my mom rushes forward. You came, she says quickly. I don't smile. You called. She hesitates. We needed you. I look at her. Now you remember me? Her face drops. Don't say it like that. Daniel appears behind her. Look who finally showed up, he says, but his voice is weaker than before. I glance at him. You don't sound so confident anymore. He scoffs. We're going through a rough time. I nod slowly. So am I supposed to fix it? My father sits in the corner. He doesn't look at me. That tells me everything. My mom steps closer. Please help us. I exhale. That's interesting. She frowns. What is? When I needed help, nobody showed up, I say calmly. Daniel interrupts. Okay, we get it. You're angry. I turn to him. No, I'm aware. Silence spreads. My father finally speaks without looking up. We made mistakes. I tilt my head. Mistakes? My mom's voice breaks. We didn't realize how much we were depending on you. I nod slowly. You realized when things fell apart. Daniel steps forward. Listen, I'm sorry. I study him. Say it again. He blinks. I said I'm sorry. I shake my head. That's not what I mean. He looks annoyed. What do you want then? Truth, I reply. He goes quiet. My father finally looks at me. We are struggling. I respond. So was I. My mom whispers, we need your help. I take a slow breath. I will help, but on my terms. Daniel scoffs. On your terms? I nod. Yes. He shakes his head. You've changed. I reply, no, I've woken up. My father asks quietly, what are your terms? I look at all of them. Respect, boundaries, no more using me. My mom looks shocked. We never used you. I laugh once. That's new. Daniel mutters, this is ridiculous. I step closer. Then don't accept it. He goes silent. My father finally says, and if we refuse? I meet his eyes. Then you solve your problems without me. The room freezes. My mom whispers, you wouldn't abandon us. I answer calmly, you already taught me how to do that. No one speaks after that. And for the first time, I don't feel small. I feel in control. Chapter 8. Regret comes too late. I return again a few days later, but nothing feels urgent anymore. They called me, not the other way around. Inside, the house feels tired. My mom is the first to speak. Sit down, she says softly. You sit? Daniel avoids my eyes. My father looks older somehow. My mom starts crying before anything else. We didn't see you. We were wrong. I stay quiet. She continues. We took you for granted. Daniel exhales. I messed everything up. I look at him. That's new honesty. He nods. I know. My father finally speaks. We lost control of everything. I respond. You never had control. You had convenience. My mom wipes her face. We're sorry. I lean back. I know. Daniel leans forward. I lied. About everything. The money. The business. I wasted it. I stare at him. Yeah, I figured that out. He looks down. I was selfish. I reply, yes. Silence again. My mom whispers, can we fix this? I pause. That question used to mean everything to me. Now it feels empty. I don't know, I say honestly. My father speaks quietly. We want you back. I look at him. Back where? Daniel says, as a family. I shake my head slightly. That word doesn't mean the same anymore. My mom breaks down again. We were wrong. I nod. You were. She looks up. So what now? I think for a moment. I needed your love, not your apologies. The room goes still. Daniel's voice cracks. Is there nothing we can do? I answer honestly. You already did it. My father lowers his head. My mom whispers, we lost you. I respond, you lost me a long time ago. I just didn't leave until now. Silence spreads again. No anger left. No shouting. Just emptiness. I stand slowly. Daniel says, are you really done with us? I look at him. I'm done waiting for something that never existed. My mom reaches out slightly. Please. I stop. I don't move closer. I don't move away. I forgive you, I say quietly. She freezes. But I don't come back, I add. My father closes his eyes. Daniel whispers, I understand. I turn toward the door. Behind me, my mom cries again. We love you. I stop for a second. Then I say without turning back, I know. And I leave. Not angry. Not satisfied. Just empty. But free. I don't go back for days after I leave. I stay in my small place, trying to understand the silence I created for myself. Then my phone starts ringing again. Ethan looks at my screen and says, You're not answering that? I reply, It's them. He nods slowly. And? I say, I don't know anymore. Clara messages me too. Don't rush into emotional decisions. I type back, I won't. But deep down, I already know something is changing. The next time I go there, I don't announce it. I just arrive. The house feels different again, less loud, more broken. My mother sees me and whispers, "You came." I answer, "You called." Daniel is sitting on the couch. He doesn't look confident anymore. He just looks tired. My father says, "We didn't think you would actually stay away this long." I reply, "I didn't think I needed to stay at all." Silence spreads. My mother steps forward, her voice shaking. "We didn't see you. We were wrong." I freeze for a moment. Those words used to be everything I wanted to hear. Now they just sit there. I ask quietly, "Why now?" She shakes her head. "Because we understand what we lost." Daniel stands up slowly. "I messed everything up," he says. No sarcasm, no pride, just emptiness in his voice. I look at him. "You always knew what you were doing." He nods. "I did. I just didn't care then." My father finally speaks. "We thought you would always be there." I reply, "That was your mistake." My mother starts crying harder. "We didn't see you. We were wrong." I stand still. No anger, no satisfaction, just something hollow inside me. Daniel looks at me directly now. "I lied about everything," he says. "The money, the business. I took advantage of you." I nod slowly. "I know." He looks surprised. "You knew?" "I figured it out a long time ago," I reply. My father lowers his head. "We lost control of everything." I say, "You didn't lose control. You just never had respect for me." That makes them all quiet. My mother whispers, "Can we fix it now?" I look at her for a long moment. The answer used to matter so much. Now it feels far away. "I don't think you can fix the past," I say. Daniel steps forward. "We can try." I shake my head. Trying isn't the same as undoing. My father asks, "So what do you want from us?" That question hits differently now. I don't have anger anymore. I don't even have revenge. I breathe slowly. "Nothing," I say. My mother shakes her head. "That can't be it." I answer, "It is." Daniel whispers, "So this is it? We just lose you completely?" I pause. Then I say, "You lost me a long time ago. You just didn't notice." The room goes still again. My mother breaks down more. "We didn't see you." I finally respond, "That's the truth." She says, "We were wrong." I nod once. "Yes." Daniel looks at me like he's trying to find something in my face that isn't there anymore. "Are you happy now?" he asks. I stop for a second. Am I? No. I answer honestly, no. That surprises them. I continue. I don't feel happy. I don't feel revenge. I don't feel anything from this. My father asks softly, "Then what do you feel?" I take a breath. Empty. Silence again. Then I say something I didn't plan to say. It just comes out. "I needed your love, not your apologies." My mother gasps softly. Daniel looks down. My father closes his eyes. No one argues anymore, because there's nothing left to defend. I step back slightly. "I forgave you already," I say. "But forgiveness doesn't mean going back." My mother reaches out. "Please don't shut us out completely." I look at her hand, but I don't take it. "I'm not shutting you out," I say. "I'm stepping away." Daniel asks quietly, "Will you ever come back?" I think about it honestly. Then I answer, "No." Not out of hate, not out of anger. Just truth. My father whispers, "We failed you." I reply, "Yes, but I survived it." That seems to hurt them more than anything else I've said. I turn toward the door. My mother says my name again, but softer this time. We love you. I stop. For a second, I feel the old version of me trying to respond, the one who would have run back just to hear that sentence. But I don't move. I say, I know you think you do. Then I walk out. No one follows. Outside, the air feels colder than I remember. But I don't break. I don't collapse. I just breathe. Ethan is waiting nearby. He doesn't ask questions. He just says, "You okay?" I think for a moment. Then I say, "No, but I'm free." He nods. That counts. Clara calls me right after. How did it go? I answer, it ended. She says softly, and you? I look back at the house one last time. I didn't get closure, I say. I got truth. She replies, that's enough. I hang up and start walking. And for the first time, I don't carry them with me anymore. I don't go back for days after I leave. I stay in my small place, trying to understand the silence I created for myself. Then my phone starts ringing again. Ethan looks at my screen and says, "You're not answering that?" I reply, "It's them." He nods slowly. And? I say, I don't know anymore. Clara messages me too. Don't rush into emotional decisions. I type back, I won't. But deep down, I already know something is changing. The next time I go there, I don't announce it. I just arrive. The house feels different again, less loud, more broken. My mother sees me and whispers, "You came." I answer, "You called." Daniel is sitting on the couch. He doesn't look confident anymore. He just looks tired. My father says, "We didn't think you would actually stay away this long." I reply, "I didn't think I needed to stay at all." Silence spreads. My mother steps forward, her voice shaking. "We didn't see you. We were wrong." I freeze for a moment. Those words used to be everything I wanted to hear. Now they just sit there. I ask quietly, "Why now?" She shakes her head. "Because we understand what we lost." Daniel stands up slowly. "I messed everything up," he says. No sarcasm, no pride, just emptiness in his voice. I look at him. "You always knew what you were doing." He nods. "I did. I just didn't care then." My father finally speaks. "We thought you would always be there." I reply, "That was your mistake." My mother starts crying harder. "We didn't see you. We were wrong." I stand still. No anger, no satisfaction, just something hollow inside me. Daniel looks at me directly now. "I lied about everything," he says. "The money, the business. I took advantage of you." I nod slowly. "I know." He looks surprised. "You knew?" "I figured it out a long time ago," I reply. My father lowers his head. "We lost control of everything." I say, "You didn't lose control. You just never had respect for me." That makes them all quiet. My mother whispers, "Can we fix it now?" I look at her for a long moment. The answer used to matter so much. Now it feels far away. "I don't think you can fix the past," I say. Daniel steps forward. "We can try." I shake my head. Trying isn't the same as undoing. My father asks, "So what do you want from us?" That question hits differently now. I don't have anger anymore. I don't even have revenge. I breathe slowly. "Nothing," I say. My mother shakes her head. "That can't be it." I answer, "It is." Daniel whispers, "So this is it? We just lose you completely?" I pause. Then I say, "You lost me a long time ago. You just didn't notice." The room goes still again. My mother breaks down more. We didn't see you. I finally respond, that's the truth. She says, we were wrong. I nod once. Yes. Daniel looks at me like he's trying to find something in my face that isn't there anymore. Are you happy now? He asks. I stop for a second. Am I? No. I answer honestly, no. That surprises them. I continue. I don't feel happy. I don't feel revenge. I don't feel anything from this. My father asks softly, then what do you feel? I take a breath. Empty. Silence again. Then I say something I didn't plan to say. It just comes out. I needed your love, not your apologies. My mother gasps softly. Daniel looks down. My father closes his eyes. No one argues anymore, because there's nothing left to defend. I step back slightly. I forgave you already, I say. But forgiveness doesn't mean going back. My mother reaches out. Please don't shut us out completely. I look at her hand, but I don't take it. I'm not shutting you out, I say. I'm stepping away. Daniel asks quietly, will you ever come back? I think about it honestly. Then I answer, no. Not out of hate, not out of anger. Just truth. My father whispers, we failed you. I reply, yes, but I survived it. That seems to hurt them more than anything else I've said. I turn toward the door. My mother says my name again, but softer this time. We love you. I stop. For a second, I feel the old version of me trying to respond, the one who would have run back just to hear that sentence. But I don't move. I say, I know you think you do. Then I walk out. No one follows. Outside, the air feels colder than I remember. But I don't break. I don't collapse. I just breathe. Ethan is waiting nearby. He doesn't ask questions. He just says, you okay? I think for a moment. Then I say, no, but I'm free. He nods. That counts. Clara calls me right after. How did it go? I answer, it ended. She says softly, and you? I look back at the house one last time. I didn't get closure, I say. I got truth. She replies, that's enough. I hang up and start walking. And for the first time, I don't carry them with me anymore. I stand outside the house for a long time before going in. My hands feel steady now, not because I'm strong in the old way, but because I already know what I'm going to say. Ethan texts me, you don't have to do this alone. I reply, I know. I'm still going. Clara calls right after. Are you sure about this? I answer, I'm not going back. I'm just finishing something. She pauses. Then stay clear on your boundaries. I will, I say, and I hang up. Inside, the house feels the same, but I don't. My mom sees me first. You came, she says softly. I nod. I said I would. Daniel sits on the couch. My father is near the window again. Same positions. Different meaning now. My mom steps closer. Are you here to fix things? I shake my head. No. Daniel looks up. Then why are you here? I breathe in slowly. To end confusion. My father asks quietly, what does that mean? I look at all of them. It means I'm not part of this cycle anymore. My mom's voice trembles. We're trying now. I reply, now is not the same as before. Daniel leans forward. So what? You're just done with us? I meet his eyes. I already told you what I am. My mom whispers, we love you. That word doesn't move me like it used to. I answer calmly, I know. Silence spreads. Then I add, but love without respect doesn't reach me anymore. My father stands slightly. We made mistakes. I nod. Yes, you did. Daniel mutters, we can fix it. I shake my head. No, you can accept it. My mom breaks down a little. Please don't leave us like this. I step back once. I'm not leaving because I'm angry, I say. They all look at me. I'm leaving because I finally understand myself. Ethan's words come back to me. You don't owe people who only use you. Clara's voice follows. You are not who they defined you as. I feel grounded for the first time standing in this room. My mom reaches out. We need you. I pause. Then I answer, no, you need what I used to give you. There's a difference. Daniel looks away. My father says quietly, so what now? I take a slow breath. Now I choose myself. My mom whispers, does that mean you forgive us? I nod. I forgive you, but I won't come back. The words land heavy. Daniel stands. You're really walking away. I reply, I already did. This is just you noticing it. My father lowers his gaze. My mom cries softly. We didn't mean to lose you. I answer honestly, but you did. Silence again. No shouting, no blame left to fight over. Just truth sitting in the middle of the room. I turn slightly toward the door. My mom calls my name one last time. Please. I stop, but don't turn around. I helped you because I needed closure, I say. Daniel whispers, is that it? I nod once. That's it. My father asks, where will you go? I answer, forward. My mom breaks down again. We're still your family. I pause for a moment. Then I say, you are my past. I open the door. Cool air hits me outside. Ethan is waiting by the car. He doesn't ask questions. He just nods. You okay? He asks quietly. I answer, better than I've ever been. Clara is standing a little farther away. She smiles slightly. You chose well. I nod. I chose myself. We start walking away. Behind me, there is no chase. No footsteps. Only silence. But this time, it doesn't hurt. It feels like peace. Ethan walks beside me. No regrets? I think for a second. No, I say. Just lessons. Clara adds, that's growth. I look forward. No, I correct softly. That's freedom. And for the first time in my life, I believe I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be.